This is a message for one who is currently or is about to be shortly inexplicably drawn, attracted to, magnetized to someone that is not their usual type. And there's something about this being a moment of awareness of how much you have grown, how much you have transformed. It's an interesting message coming through because this is coming through as being attracted, wanting to explore deeper connection. Now, it could be with a friend, it's possible. It may start out like that. It may start out like that, and then you'll realize that you're longing for more out of the situation than you were before. Maybe you never thought that that would be possible. Maybe you thought that that's as far as something would go, and now you're seeing, oh, wait a minute, I think I'm interested in something more. There's something about you and this person, though, that are very different. There's something about this connection that breaks the mold of what you're usually into or who you would usually go for, what would usually attract you. You may be somebody who has always been attracted to the bad boy or the fast girl, or maybe you're somebody who likes the prim and proper type and you're being drawn to somebody who's a little bit more rebellious, somebody more off the cuff than you. You might be a homebody and you're suddenly drawn to somebody who's a real mover and shaker. They're always out on the scene. They're always going somewhere. They're more of a kind of jet setter or world explorer kind of type. Maybe you've always been a hometown girl or boy and now you're drawn to somebody who's from a very different cultural background than you, or maybe even a different station in life than you. It could be a bit of a Pretty in Pink saga where someone's born on the wrong side of the tracks and the other is very wealthy, and yet there's something there. It's a unifying force. There's something there that's getting you out of your usual isms. There's something here that's getting you outside of your box, and you're looking deeper into somebody. You're drawn to somebody. It's deeper. It's deeper than skin deep. There's something there that plucks a chord in you that leaves this resonance long after the initial spark is lit. I don't know what this is, but if you have been here with me on the channel for a while, you know I don't get messages like this very often. They have been coming in more frequently. I do believe it's because of that rebirth of Venus energy with Venus moving into Libra. So I think 'tis the season for all things love and beauty. And for now, we're going to try to keep the war out of it. I just want to tap in to this connection to whoever this message is for. And if you're somebody who is single, but you're happy that way and you're not really looking for anybody, I would say you might be surprised. You might be surprised when somebody finds you when you're least expecting it. If you are somebody who's just totally, completely closed off to this, it's probably not your message. And that's okay. Not every message is for every person, but for whoever this is for. And I hear this is something that's in store for many. Many are breaking the mold of their usual type because they've grown. It's like you shed certain old versions of yourself that are no longer in alignment with your usual type. And maybe some who think they've given up on love, it's just that you haven't really given up on love. You've given up on your usual type. You know? You're wanting something more. Yeah, look at that. I like it. 2 of Swords in reverse. Okay, maybe I can open up to a little exploration here. I know if I'm going to do this, I'm going to do it different than I've ever done it before. I'm not going to try to appeal to what I think somebody desires. I'm just going to really show up as I am. I'm going to let down my guards, let all my weird out right up front. Just be me, you know? They either dig it or they don't. There's like something here that's really been transmuted, and it's bringing about some kind of transformation. I also think that there's something really positive that's come out of previous disappointments where you weren't appreciated for who you are, or where you did feel like you had to make yourself fit into some mold of who somebody else thought you should be. You discovered it was a real bad cover version of love, and now what you really crave is authenticity. Yeah, you're starting to see what you're truly looking for. It's like you've gotten more in touch with your personal power here. You've also really been considering, if you ever were to have a connection, what would that look like? What would you desire? And you recognize that you're no longer drawn to what seems too proud or boastful or any kind of egoic displays, nothing like that. You're not interested in any showboating or who has more or anything that sparks some kind of sense of competition or envy, anything like that. I think you're just in this place where you've really seen through all of those illusions, probably through taking some time to yourself, and now you're really looking for, you don't realize that I'm hearing, you're looking for treasure. Maybe treasure comes from an unexpected source. Maybe treasure used to be the trappings. Maybe treasure used to be more about superficial things like the way something looks, or is it good for my image? Maybe it had more to do with a trophy hanging on your arm, or possibly could have been for clout in certain social circles. Maybe it had something to do with finding yourself in certain rooms, even though you couldn't really admit that to yourself at the time, or you couldn't see yourself in that way, but there's something you've seen from a distance. It gives you a different perspective. Maybe it was more about what kind of status somebody had and what that could do for you. I mean, there's something here where maybe something was more out of vanity or more out of ego in the past, more out of how something looked, or more what you just thought was what you wanted, because in a way it was. I mean, it was there to really teach you something, show you something, something you needed to see. Maybe you're feeling a little gratitude for that too. A little bit of gratitude for disillusionment. Those moments are really wild when you have those moments where you're like, oh my gosh, I'm so grateful for this really effed up connection I had, because I learned so much. I learned so much about myself, and a lot of times people forget to have gratitude for the negative relationships they've had, or the difficult, really challenging relationships that they've had, because they forget the way that those connections may be really rough, but very rarely do we learn our lessons the easiest way, especially when we're navigating through really old embedded stuff that's in our cellular memory, stuff that has to do with, you know, our early development, how we came to view our role in the world, how we came to view others, you know, and just the way it affected everything. There's something here about really arriving at a point where you understand that unless it had really gone down exactly like that, I wouldn't have gained what I hold now. I wouldn't have gained the confidence that I hold now. I wouldn't have gained the deep trust in myself. I wouldn't have gained insight into what I truly desire and what I'm no longer willing to sacrifice just for the sake of keeping things pleasant. And there's something that's become a lot more authentic here. And it's activating a connection that's coming in as a real gift, okay? It's like you're getting the keys. Look, it's like Gabo double. Two here coming together, really roots, some gifts, some mutual gifts, gifts shared. And it is giving me the impression of the Wheel of Fortune turning with that Roman numeral X there representing 10 and 10 and 10, 20. See, there's something that's coming in a very almost mystical way, but it has everything to do with the deep dive of the High Priestess, integrating a lot of real shadowy stuff. And through the shadowy stuff could have even come through a relationship that you feel like was a bane to you, and yet it's your boon, it's your blessing. Like there's something about really having gratitude for all of it, really arriving at this place of respecting the journey, what it taught you about yourself, being grateful for it, even the brutal stuff, man. And I know that may sound very strange to people who are in the thick of a healing process, but if you're somebody who has done some really intense, deep healing of trauma, you get to a place where you're just content to be at peace. You're just fulfilled to be at peace. You're really grateful for the lessons, even the way they came through. You don't have any regrets. You know, there's no takebacks in life. And so the sooner you can make peace with that and own your part in any experiences you've had, even if it was just the choice to involve yourself in that experience, to engage in it. You know, so often we give away our power by viewing it through a lens of what we feel has been done to us, when we forget that we were always an active participant. And in some cases, you know, that doesn't apply. And then we look at things more like developmental trauma, stuff that happens in our early childhood and things that we don't have a control over. And it does affect the way we view the world, and it does affect our relationships, and it affects all of that. But the thing is that even as you grow and you mature and you get, you know, bruised up a bit from learning things the hard way, you eventually arrive at the crossroads where you have to make a choice. Am I going to heal? Or am I going to continue to act out the patterns? And what I really see here is there's something that's being healed generationally. It's bringing through gifts. And the gift is coming through a very special connection here. Something's rooted. Something has longevity. There's also new community coming in here too. So while I do feel this is sort of centered around a very special connection, maybe this connection itself will be somewhat like a hub of a greater wheel of fortune that affects more fortunes than just you and this other. There could be community coming together here, coming together in a very different way than has ever been experienced before in relation to this union. There's something about a gathering coming in here of significance. The crossing energy is the 7 of Swords. And to me, this is what's about to happen. There's somebody coming in, or there's a way that you're seeing somebody that you've never seen them before. And in that instant, it's like the facade falls away, a facade that was put in place out of self-protection, from really opening yourself up to make contact with life again in a raw way, not in a guarded way, not in an orchestrated way where you have to plan everything out and you even plan out what you would say to a particular person or anything. There's something about really embracing the moment and a sense of spontaneity, but not in a destructive way, in a creative way. In a creative way where you're so in touch with who you are now, and you're so in touch with what you feel, and you don't doubt yourself, and you don't doubt your intuition, and you know how to read the energy. You know how to read the energy of whatever you find yourself entering into the stream of. And so there's something about this that really allows you to flow. It also allows you to know when, you know, something is merely a rock in the stream and you got to just like flow around it, you know. Not all things need to be strategized or navigated. You just respond to them spontaneously. And whatever this is, there's something about this that has you no longer wasting any kind of time. In fact, it gives you a sense of peace. It gives you a sense of truth. It gives you an answer. Something that eluded you for a long time. It's suddenly immensely clear. And it brings justice. Justice. Turning of the Wheel of Fortune, it brings justice. And looking at this as the Roman numeral 10, we're looking at this energy here. It's your star. And it rises up out of the strength of the past. Strength of the lessons in the past. I don't think you're going to really hesitate with this. You'll automatically know you want to root this. You'll automatically know that it's worth investing in. And yeah, it's beautiful, actually. You're not wasting time anymore. You see what else? We got the Emperor on the scene. Emperor coming out of a place of indecision, not sure what they want to do. Ooh, wow, the way that came out. Do you see these cards are on their sides? They're on their sides, and they're right here with the cup, where ironically the Queen of Cups, okay? Some kind of wish fulfillment. Basis of the matter is personal gratification, right? We look at the Nine of Cups. It's about, what do I really want? What would be a sense of real personal gratification? There's nothing wrong with feeling a sense of personal gratification in a connection. I mean, you should want to feel personal gratification, like, yeah, I really want this, you know? I really want this. That's what this is. And see, this Emperor came out like this. So they were in a crossroads position, but they're starting to, it's almost like this is coming through like the needle on a compass. Like it was in this place where it was set to east-west. It was like bouncing between the east and the air and all the thoughts and strategizing and worrying and, you know, overthinking something, thinking something to death, you know. How am I going to handle this? How am I going to approach them? What am I going to say? All of this jazz, right? And now it's starting to move out of that, okay? It's heading into the transformational energy of the fire, taking action, and the South, which is about shedding the old skin and allowing yourself to take on a new form, maybe move forward in a way you never have before. And the North is the place of blessings. It's the place of your star. It's the place of really belonging. Yeah, it's like coming out of this place of being conflicted into a state of belonging, going through a big transformation here. And what was hanging in the balance is of the nature of the heart, okay? The heart is queen here, and it's on the line. And it's funny because this energy comes out like crossing, hanging in the balance, but it's in reverse. We got the Empress here, and we have the Eight of Cups. So it's like somebody may have thought that they weren't wanting a beginning. They weren't wanting a beginning with the Empress. They might be changing their mind about that, because it looks like there was a moving away from an energy here that maybe somebody thought, no, that's not my Empress, that's not my match, okay? Or this is somebody you would never, like somebody you're meeting, somebody new, that you would never be like, this would never be my type. But it's like when this person crosses your path, all of a sudden it's like, wait a minute. There's like a curiosity there, you know? There's something there that makes the person go, normally I wouldn't even give this a second thought, you know? But with the Eight of Cups coming out, crossing in reverse, let me check that out. Let me check that out. What is that over there? I kind of like it, you know? I really like this message. It's good. I feel like whoever the Emperor is a character where it's like, it may take time for them to make up their mind, but once their mind is set, there's like no stopping them, which is probably why there's been a lot of time wasted. And I feel that's even if you haven't met somebody here yet, right? It's sort of this energy of wasting time just exploring things that you knew weren't it. Yeah, but now there's like a genuine offer being made here with the Ace of Cups. Somebody's hoping it'll be received. Might come in around the new moon. Total eclipse, a total eclipse of the heart coming in with the new moon in Leo on the 12th. Could be interesting. Yeah, somebody might make their feelings known because that energy of Mercury going into Leo on the 11th is going to really have people who've been too prideful, you know, too much in their ego, too full of themselves, kind of softening a bit, you know, wanting to let another in. We got a Queen of Pentacles here offering a Page of Pentacles, okay? This could be feminine reaching out. Maybe it's got kind of like a vice versa kind of energy, really, if you think about it. If you think about it. Because it could be that the Emperor wasn't even seen as an option because wasn't being seen accurately. There is a sense of betrayal here, okay? Maybe somebody's recognizing the way they've betrayed themselves in the past by exploring more childish things when there was like an emperor or an empress right under their nose for, you know, the whole time. Interesting. That's really interesting. Huh? Yeah, this is just the beginning. I feel like whatever this is, for whoever this message is for, something's underway here. There is a mirroring kind of energy here. I'm going to get one more round because I'm kind of curious. And then I might pull out something else on this, but I do feel like this is an offer that's going to be made soon here. It is happening in the physical for sure. With the Emperor on the scene and with the Queen of Pentacles, we know something is actually materializing here, right? This is not something that's just sort of being in the realm of fantasy. Somebody's actually taking an action here. They're making an introduction, or they're making some kind of small offer here. Yeah, I really believe it's going to come in right after that eclipse, like the lights come on in the room. You don't see this coming. And it's like the brand new beginning of something that's meant to bring a little joy, a little sweetness. It's just a seed of potential with an Ace of Cups. It's a new beginning. Okay, do you feel like it really does arrive at that Leo new moon? Yeah, communication comes in. I'm telling you, there's transformation in communication. There's also the arrows of love here. There's like some kind of, I'm hearing telekinetic activity around this, where first it's like you're going to sense this coming in, or you're going to sense it building if you're somebody who's already attracted to somebody who's not your usual type. You feel the fire, that spark of the creative is already underway. And there is protection here for the treasure that this brings. Because there is something that's truly a treasure. Like this connection is a treasure, however this is playing out. Whoever this is for. There's something pretty good in store. But it's the direct result of your own growth. And you being really centered within yourself. And now a little adventure in Wonderland is in store. Because you've been able to abandon fears, you know, things that have held you back in the past. Yep, Ace of Pentacles. We got an Ace of Pentacles, Ace of Cups. All I know is judgment coming in here. Something is being seeded that if nurtured, it will grow. Got robin's eggs coming in. Robins could be, somebody's name could be Robin, okay? Robins coming in as a sign of synchronicity around this too. Let me go ahead and get one of these herbal astrology oracle cards. Not just one, like we'll get around to them. And see what they have to say, because they bring in the planets, and I can tie in different astrological signs and all that. Get some clues. For those of you who really dig that stuff, I know some people really want the identifying markers, even though, you know, we all do carry all the zodiac within us, but I know that there's a lot of people who really resonate strongly with their zodiac archetypes. So I want to respect that, bring that in for you all. So let's get some details here about this. Bottom of the, I'm telling you, look, it's a blind spot. There was something that was sacrificed here. And there's also, look, there's like this oppositional energy, like something is very different from you. It could be that, you know, you come from two different ethnic backgrounds. That might not have been something you would have ever explored before. Okay, there can be religious differences. One of you could be completely, you know, agnostic. Somebody could be an atheist. Another could be very religious. I mean, there's something here that's very different between the two of you. And yet, there's a place that intersects that's so powerful. It's a unifying force. And it's able to override the thorns, and it grows the rose. But not just any kind of rose, wild rose. A love that's wild, a love that's free, a love that lets you be. Yeah, and the next full moon that comes in, that is a lunar eclipse, I think in Pisces. Yeah, so that's really going to light this up. And it is coming in with the energy of the new moon and Venus. All right. This is going to bring peace. This is going to bring a new vision of love. And you're going to be riding the swell of an ocean of emotion here. You may want to work with Rose. Okay, Rose to start to soften the heart. Could be a Cancer connected to this. There could be a Libra connected to this. A Taurus. Okay, just to bring in some initial energies. There could be a Pisces connected. Yes, this is a very sensual connection too. I think energetically that will be felt immediately. There's something about the way your souls dance together when you meet. And it's almost like this. It is like this. It's like, that reminds me of the Ida and the Pingala. It reminds me of that flow, the Shakti flow, and that interrelation of that Kundalini life force energy. There might be something activating about this connection. Coming in with Venus and Neptune. It's very dreamy. There's also something about, you'll know that this is the person I'm talking about, because not only are they not what you would usually be drawn to, or for some reason you haven't seen them as an option, there's something very visceral happening here. It's everything. It's the way you see them differently. It's something about the pheromones. It's something about the scent. It's something about the way they move, the way that you feel in their presence. It's like you're feeling something on a deeper level. There's something you're sensing here, and it's coming in with the energy of the Hermit. So I do feel like there's a light within them that you recognize, that is a light that you hide within yourself, or they pull that light out of you in some way, or you see a light in them that you've never recognized in another before. And in some way, it's familiar to you because it's a light that you hold. Sensuality. There's a lot of sensuality in this connection. And it may have been something that you've been picking up, you've been feeling in your dream space. There's something here that may have felt like glamour, or almost like something was weaving its spell over you, but it's not. It's like your souls dance together. Your souls dance together on the astral. And again, I got that eclipse, new moon energy coming in. Yeah, this message of the air in the waterway, you know, this has been coming in for a while. It's like you ride the crest of the airwaves with this. So I feel like this is an energy you pick up in dream time. Coming in with Neptune and Saturn. Saturn currently retrograde in Aries, Neptune retrograde in Aries, okay? This is something that's no longer going to be a dream. This is something that's about to become reality. Coming in with the Hierophant energy. It's in reverse. So see, Hierophant represents tradition. It represents the borders, the boxes, the organization. There's something here that it has you really breaking down the borders, breaking down the boxes, breaking down your usual ideas of what your type is. Like something defies your type. And it's making a dream a reality. Something feels like a dream. It's just like a dream. It's just like a dream. It's destiny. Wow. Coming in with Jupiter. Jupiter and Mercury, okay? So this really could be coming in very close to that new moon eclipse in Leo. And it's a total eclipse on the 12th and the day before Mercury enters Leo. And it makes people more bold and willing to finally like share feelings that they've held in or express themselves in new ways that they've been holding back. So this could be somebody you're just meeting, and I do feel like if you're just meeting this person, then it's one of those things where it's like you feel very unguarded in the communication with this person right off the bat. There's just something that melts your usual resistance or skepticism I'm hearing here. It's like the moon, the sun, there's synergy there. Their sun speaks to your moon, or if you're somebody who's more shy and internalized, their sun really draws your moon out of you into outer expression. And when I think of the moon, I always think of what's hidden or what's concealed or what's really deep within ourselves. What we hold is intimate, and this person has a way of really allowing you to feel so open in moving into expression of this. It's really pretty beautiful there. I mean, come on, man. Destiny. A sensual destiny is flowing in here on the airways and is getting rooted in material reality. It's something that you're picking up. So I do feel like there's a sense of this unfolding. You're picking up an energy around this. Let's do a cut the deck to cap this off. Judgment. There's judgment for two here. Look. It was bound to happen. It was always bound to happen. It's been sealed. It's been sealed since the dawn of time. And look at that sun coming on through. The sun and Pluto. So this is the rebirth of Venus. It's protected. The Emperor is protected. The Emperor's protected because he's lion-hearted. He had the courage. He had the courage to free himself from something that had really oppressed him in the past. That's what I'm hearing. Yep, went through a metamorphosis. We have this green Tara energy here. Green Tara always has that right foot forward. The green Dakini medicine doesn't just rest on its laurels. It takes action. It takes action. And what's happening here is masks are being removed. The shadow form has been shed. And all the bad blood has been released. And so now it's like this creative flowering cycle. It's very beautiful. Everything is coming to fruition here. And I love this, just seeing that, you know. Oops. Oh, that's interesting. We'll have to see what fell away there. Mask removed. It's really beautiful to see. There's like this activation of the air elemental coming in on the airwaves. Something's communicated here right around the new moon. It's something that was hidden before, but it's now being revealed. It's bringing about metamorphosis and also a chariot in this situation. Cancerian energy. We had Sagittarius, Pisces came through. Oh, look at that. That's what fell away. Yeah, there's some action that's going to be taken here. Whoa, as a moth just flew by. Something's coming out of the shadow and it's about to be transformed. 21. Yeah, you'll know it. There's an action that's going to be taken pretty soon here. Mars coming in with Pluto. Big Scorpio energy. We also got Aries energy here, okay? Clarity. There's clarity, absolute clarity behind this action. And there's a transformation that's underway. I mean, we have action, snake medicine, which is all about transformation. We had metamorphosis come in. It's a day of destiny. Godspeed.